here, someone that we've seen really pop up throughout the tournament so far. And honestly, it's been 50-50. Either the Franco works really well, or sometimes you land hooks that end games, and not in a good way, right? You end up landing a hook, you hook the wrong person, and it's been devastating for some teams, right? So they lock in the Franco. They still have one more choice available, which will really tell us where everybody is going here. But right now, IDNS, the big question is, what are they taking, right? What are they taking into the gold lane? What are they going to be taking in terms of XP? Paquito's being shown here. Let's see if that's actually locked in. And here's another hero that we haven't seen yet in the tournament. The old trusty PNK, but it's not going to be locked in. Now the Brody. Okay, it is. So the PNK and the Paquito.
They play with you, bro.
They play with us, right? And that's fine, because here's the thing. I feel like people still kind of forget about, you know, PNK, because the thing is, with Popo and Koopa, like, as soon as you... what I'm assuming is it's going to be that weapon mastery, it's going to be the rush to BOD, and he just deletes turrets, man. That's the thing. So he's able to just kind of control that lane a little bit, plus you get some of that CC potential too within the kit. And now this, right? The classic, this is like a classic pick from the Philippines right here. The Lancelot is going to be shown. Let's see if it's actually going to be locked in here.
Yep, although I don't think this is the Bren skin as far as I'm concerned, because it has been one of the historic, right? Historic heroes of the Philippines, but this time it's going to be the Lancelot, picked up by El Ganador. And if I know something about Filipino junglers, is that they love assassins so much. Good pickup here to be able to finish it in the early game, and it actually thrives when faced up against the Popol, because it can easily use the puncture to be able to get the engage and initiate all throughout the matchup. So now it is going to be between teams that have the same standing, that have the same ideals, and that have the same goals. So let's see what would transpire in this specific matchup, because you know they need the win, and they need the win as soon as possible. I mean, I get the desperation act coming in from both of the teams, but they have to do it as quick and as clean as they can, man.
Yeah, and this is where it is, right? This is the last game of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to match number 10 here between IDNS and, of course, El Ganador Knights from the Philippines. Let's see what can happen. And like we were talking about, right? Let's talk about the jungles. There it is, right? Okay, we're going to take a quick pause. As I was saying, let's talk about the jungles. So we have both of them running the jungle emblems. This is typically what we see here. Now, the question is, you know, based on the team compositions that we've talked about during the draft, who comes out on top? Because what typically happens is when both junglers are running the jungle emblem, it's going to force those team fights, right? It's going to force the team fights around the objectives, because both junglers are knowing we can contest this, we can fight this. Whereas typically what we see is if one jungler takes, you know, a non-jungle emblem, sometimes they're more or less inclined to just give up some of those early turtles. But in this case, because you have Lancelot and you have Karina both running the same emblem, they will force fights. They will look for those fights around the turtles and just try to either out-retry each other or try to outmaneuver each other, right? So Sona, who's got the better lay of the land here in terms of their team compositions? Who comes out on top in those big objective fights? Because that's really what this game is going to be about as it progresses.
Well, honestly, taking a look at it, you have the Karina on the other side and the Lancelot on the other. So basically, they have the same type of speed in terms of what they want to do. Most especially because, as you mentioned, both contain the Demon Slayer emblem. So in the same way, they have the same mobility, same spiking in terms of the early to mid stages. But I have to say though, Karina has been more mobile. It has been more useful in the skirmishes and team fights that have been going around the tournament, which is why Lancelot, the new addition to the assassin roster of top clans this time around, needs to be able to step up, use that puncture. Most especially the advantage comes in with the mid lane minions, because there's already 4 ways for you to be able to at least get through and escape, just in case you are stuck in a little bit of situation. But so far, they are all playing it passive, and they are not going for the first blood just yet, just being simply cautious with everything that's happening so far.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be right with everything on the line here. Again, the prize pool of $10,000 to move on to the next round. The teams have to be very cautious in the way they play this. Also, here's the thing, right? With Mizzy Meek, he's actually going to be taking quite a bit of damage in the mid lane, but able to survive. Right? Doesn't have the level 4 yet. This was my next point. Who does Mizzy Meek want to take here? Whose ultimates does he want to take and secure? Because there's a lot of good options, but right now, mid lane, Zanri going to be focused on, but forcing them back, now setting up for the turtle here. This could easily be King Frenzy's turtle, as again, not everyone is here just yet, Sona.
Yep, Bloody Hunt might be a good choice. For that, Valentina Ironhook won't be hitting though. Thorn Rose at the same time, but on the backside is Song Tuai, and that is going to be out for naught, as El Ganador will smoothly be able to take that turtle using the retribution coming in from King Frenzy. So we are somewhat seeing IDNS just giving the rest of the rotations in to El Ganador because of the mobility that they also possess. And Kai's, I have to say though, has been very momentous, which is why the first blood is going to go to that Franco. And off-camp kill is going to arrive for the rest of the members. MZ Mink though, into the mid lane, was possibly hooked in that specific situation, which is why El Ganador is now at the upper hand and just simply being aggressive enough for IDNS not to continue in their team fights.
So this is already off to a good start, but also, you know, Kai's struggled in some of his games today, and even Franco in general as a hero, right? But already off to a good start, and this is something that could help them set themselves up later on, because like I said, even though that first blood, that first kill goes to your Franco, at least he can start to build a little bit the items that he needs, especially, I'm not sure if he's going to rush the Dominance Ice here, but to the point where he can put himself in that danger zone rather than, you know, what we've seen before where Franco is behind. All you have to do is rely on your hooks, but now you can start to build to that. Oh, there's a hook right there, actually.
There's a hook indeed, and that is actually going to be one person, MZ Mink, once again being taken out as we go ahead for a quick pause right over there, because that was an interesting and absolutely wonderful hook coming in from the roamer, which is going to be the Franco from El Ganador. So technically, that is already one up, most especially because the Lord, or the Turtle rather, is about to spawn in just a few seconds here in the map. So one of the few things that the side of I Do Not Sleep needs to avoid is just basically not get kicked off, most especially because of the continuous pressure that Franco imposes to the Thai squad. And taking a look at El Ganador this time around, Lancelot would also, I feel like I'm honestly interested because there's not a lot of damage that Lancelot is posing recently.
Yeah.
When we see like the first few minutes of the game. So a trend is starting to occur that Lancelot is somewhat building a tank path, you know, a tanky path. So it
Kinda
is
like Karina.
usually the case here. Yeah, most especially against a Karina that can deal a ton of damage with that magic emblem. So with that Demon Slayer backed up against you, it's going to be a little difficult for the Karina to just be able to dish out the damage. Yes, he would have a lot of jungle creeps cleared, but when the team fights are going, both of the junglers would just be there to finish the job.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We'll take a look at the items when we get back to the game and later on, but on the type of build path that he's going with, because that's the thing, right? Lancelot, usually when he's popped up now, some people have been like, let's just build Lancelot like a Karina, right? A little bit of tankiness here, but okay, as we get back to the game, another kill going to be secured here by El Ganador Knights, and like you were saying, you know, Kai's is just finding the hooks that he needs to this time around. King Frenzy also sitting pretty here. So right now, what we're seeing is IDNS really struggling to make this work. And again, Valentina, this is something similar that happened yesterday. Valentina slipped through the cracks and had a very tough game early on. So, you know, we're still seeing a bunch of teams banner out, but uh-oh. He's in trouble here.
Is going to be the Paquito, man. Popped off here, eliminated as fast as they could. That is going to be the Phantom Execution landing in. Double kill for King of Frenzy. And they're absolutely going on a frenzy right now, but it is actually going to be easy as of the moment, dragging it up. But he is still actually alive and turning things around. But no, it is going to be MC Mink going down, making a double kill for El Ganador, and they will be able to freely take the turtle, but because they don't have the necessary help because of that specific team fight, the turtle take will be delayed for just a minute, and it gives another chance for IDNS to get back and steal, hopefully, the turtle.
Again, I think they're going to set themselves up for this turtle here. Kai's getting in position, and again, you know, they don't want to commit to this yet because even though King Frenzy, I mean, check it out. Check out the replay quick, right? Nice patience there, waiting in the bush. They find Zanri, Phantom Execution, even burning that flicker out. And this was just a nice play coming out from El Ganador Knights, right? They were very patient with this, and they convert that into kills. But also, you know, surprisingly, Mizzy Mink able to grab grab a couple kills there himself for the team, actually. And this is the thing, right? Valentina was struggling early on, grabbed some assists with that last team fight. So again, it's really going to depend. What ultimates do you want to take if you're Mizzy Mink? What is going to be the highest value? Because we've been focusing so much on the mid lanes, the jungles, and everything else, but what about the gold laners, right? We haven't even seen anything from them because they've just been sitting in their lanes, doing their thing, enjoying their vacation in the early game, because as the game transitions to that mid and the late game, this is where we're really going to see them shine, especially, you know, how does Nikushimi use that Blazing Duet? How does he initiate? Oh, they knew he was there.
Yup, that is actually going to be another Blazing Duet locked in. However, Valentino was able to take out the Julian, and Easy is going to be running away. Easy, lemon squeezy. And this time around, it is going to be IDNS backed out to the corner once again. And as another hook lands into Zanri, though, the Bulwark Shield is going to be enough to at least save the day for that Lolita, but not for the turret as El Ganador knocks on the doorstep once more. However, it has been the Popol and Koopa working his way into taking the objectives, and this is what you expect from that type of marksman. Huge turret taking, but unfortunately King Frenzy wasn't able to take the orange buff this time around. So hopefully it's still a good initiation coming in from El Ganador, but IDNS is slowly still getting the necessary turrets they have.
Yeah, taking a look at that replay too, just, I mean, on each side, pretty chaotic, right? And they're finding moments here for both of them, but that's the thing. I mean, at this point, they've got to be careful. El Ganador Knights do have a nice, comfortable little bit of a gold lead here. Pretty evenly matched in terms of the turrets, but the big thing is that tier 1 turret in the mid lane is still up for El Ganador Knights, and now the focus here once again, there's the combination, the deadly combination of that Julian and the Franco here. Sun is taken out of the picture, and another turtle is going to be coming up soon as they focus in this top lane.
Yep, and so far another knockup is gonna come once again for El Ganador. It is just Sky, man, being the limit for IDNS as of the moment, but they are just going to be taking another turtle for themselves, and Zanri, the rest of IDNS won't be able to do something about it, and El Ganador just trying to increase and widen the gap of the lead that they have as of this juncture. Looking at Dyson once again, and that man with his best friend will no longer be escaping as the Aluminum Blast will be hitting one member. That is going to be King Frenzy, but still Easy running away from that fight. Thornbro is going to be used here with a puncture at the same time as Phantom Execution. 1-2 heroes down for the side of IDNS, and El Ganador will just look to take this orange objective while Sky is distracting the rest of the members of the Thai squad.
I can't believe Kai's actually got the killing blow there with the hook after being focused by everybody, and he just turns around, throws that iron hook, and grabs the kill there like an absolute boss. And I mean, right now they're in total control here, even the bottom lane, Zona.
Yep, and at the same time, that is what IDNS is going to do. They're going to focus all their resources to basically defending it this time around, Nikushimi using the BMI to be able to get away. And King Frenzy 505 in this specific juncture. We mentioned that there is a possibility for Lancelot to build this one just time, but Easy is going to go ahead, and that is the knock once again coming in from Julian. Luminous Blast will be hitting the rest of the members in, but it is going to be the Lolita banning out and taken out by the side of El Ganador and more, as Popol and Koopa will not be able to escape that specific team fight, and it is still the side of IDNS, man. They can't really find any openings, but at the same time, it's El Ganador not giving them any form of a break, as that is going to be another one hooking for the rest of the members of El Ganador, but that is going to be an IMU copied. So Bloody Hunt might be a possibility here for Zanri or MZ Mink rather. But this time around, take a look at the replays and see what happened there.
Yeah, this was just pretty much chaos in that jungle. I mean, time after time. Look at the engages here. Andre, too. This is the strength of that Thamus pick, right? And now that this Lord is up, you can see just how confident El Granador Knights are. Zanri might be trying to force something here.
Yep. So far, it has been El Ganador taking that out, and with the Phantom Execution, it has been the Lolita. Zanri goes down. They are just waiting for that specific Lord. El Ganador also wants to be in contest to get that win in under 13 minutes and 40 seconds because they want to get faster than Falcon Esports and what they did a while ago, and they're slowly doing just that because the Lord, we are still waiting for that specific objective that will just spawn right about now. Ironhawk won't be hitting. They will still be patient, basically allotting all of their heroes onto the bot lane, and the Lord is already marching onto the mid side.
And this is going to be tough for IDNS. They have to be able to defend this. They don't have as much clear, too, especially with this PNK pick. I mean, you have the traps, but honestly, you don't have that kind of clear, and you have to constantly be dodging these iron hooks right now. So here we go. This is going to be the defense for IDNS.
Yup, IDNS, the Lord already marching for El Ganador, and that's going to be another hook to Zanri, and Phantom Execution is going to be used at the same time. Blazing Duet onto the backside, but they will not be getting anyone. Instead, it's the Karina falling down, Lancelot getting out of the equation as well, but MC Mint will be falling in the process as well. It is El Ganador wanting to push in with the engage, but there are just too many heroes and minions left in the building as IDNS continues to defend for another day. They're just basically going to wait for another Lord to spawn in less than 2 minutes at this point. But take a look at the items here right now, man. Blade armor only secured here by the Karina, and it's not really going to help them that much, most especially because El Ganador just have a ton of damage to back it up.
Yeah, and I like it because, you know, King Frenzy went with that damage path. Another hook going to land here. Bloody Hunt going to be popped. Can they survive?
Honestly, the question is, will they actually be able to survive? And yes, they did. So again, they're just basically gonna wait for the Lord to spawn, but Naisu, they're just stealing every single objective here, not giving anything, not giving any form of resource for IDNS, so which is why Somtuai will just try and force the fight, and so will the rest of the members of IDNS, but another hook will commence, but Lancelot is nowhere to be found, so this is the maximum pressure coming in from them. Blazing Duet is gonna be able to not hit anyone, and here comes the retaliation coming in, Julian from behind, and this is also the Counter and Inferno coming in from Andre, making sure that King Frenzy is assisted right over here. Thorn Rose is going to be used, but that is going to be Lancelot falling, and the turnaround is happening for the side of IDNS, and that is a slight mistaken misposition that is capitalized by IDNS by taking 4 heroes down.
I don't know if I would call that a slight mistake, man. El Ganador Knights 4 falling here. Let's take a look at the replay. They just got cut off here. I think they got too complacent and they were split up. Meanwhile, IDNS sticking together. I mean, even Andre trying to do something here, and King Frenzy couldn't follow up at all. And that's the struggle. But now they're back here in full force without their jungle just yet as the Lords for the taking.
Yup, Quadrant Inferno is to be the entry point for the rest of the members in. However, it is to be Andre, though, backing away. Meanwhile, IDNS is slowly winning Quadrant Inferno, and the Luminous Blast will be able to get them at the same time. But no, 2 heroes are down for the rest of the members. It has been Kai's and Sky that is down for the rest of the members of El Ganador Esports, and IDNS still 4 heroes strong. MC Mink is the only one out, and they want to go ahead and win this fight. And Somtuai, man, he's always been the focal point point of the fight. He's always bursting them down, given the necessary knockups, and they're always making sure that they will stay in the game. And they are already, in fact, in the position to be able to take this Lord.
Yeah, this is still tough though because King Frenzy is just around the corner. IDNS has to be really careful if they actually decide to commit to this Lord. Big pickup here for Mizzy Mink. He's got to get there just in time to help them out, but they look to bob and weave here for this Lord right now.
Yup, and so far that is what Somtawai is going to be doing. Knockup though, coming in from the Lord Assistance right here over here for the IDNS. However, it is still easy right on the backside, trying to control the rest of the member in it. But no, it is going to be IDNS falling in terms of the jungle. And here comes the side of GANADOR. They will not be given up as King Frenzy locking it in, using the puncture to get close to Somtawai, but not for long as the triple kill coming in from Sky. 10, 3, and 11 for this guy. And with Alzen and Somtawai remaining for the rest of the members of IDNS, will GANADOR 5-man strong be able to finish this one off? And that might just be the case. Ironhawk won't be able to hit, but the Phantom Execution is going to be there at the same time. And this is going to be the end of the fight. GANADOR